Wow. I'm writing this moments after finishing the final FNaF tape from Squimpus McGrimpus. Just wow. For one of the simpler tapes visually, it says so much. And that's not just because it's probably one of the most dialogue-heavy videos in the series. I would say, without a doubt, this is the most impactful FNaF VHS tape. On one hand, because it's very well written and performed, but also because it's an end to an era. The series that kickstarted the movement of FNaF VHS videos has ended. I want to talk more about how the series has impacted me and the community, but first, let's talk about the story so far, and what this adds to it. Please watch the tape yourself first, though. If you want any idea of how great this is to watch, just look at these reactions I had while watching. No, these are not posed. My legit faces while watching it for the first time. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to the Nifty Table. They were the VA for William Afton in this series, and they did such a good job, especially in this tape. In brief, up to this point, we know this. William Afton had two sons, Joseph and Michael. William Afton had a clear favorite, Joseph, the younger of the two brothers. But William's favoritism took a toll on Michael, causing him to act out against his brother. In one of these instances, we get the funny meme thing.
Was that the Sven?
After the incident, the Fazbear Company rebranded from Fredbear's Family Diner to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Distraught at Joseph's death, William Afton's disdain for Michael becomes hatred. But instead of taking his anger out on Michael, he begins taking out on other children at Freddy Fazbear's. But the children he kills don't simply die. Their souls become stuck, possessing the animatronics, on a quest to kill William Afton, hoping that if they do that, their souls can finally be set free. Unfortunately, this won't happen for a long time. In an attempt to hide the evidence, William Afton destroys the animatronics. We all know what happens next. Meanwhile, one of William's victims, the puppet, is attempting to help Michael end everything once and for all. Again, the idea is that if William dies, their souls can be set free. But that's not necessarily true for all of them. You see, Joseph also haunted an animatronic, but he wasn't killed by William, he was killed by Michael. So, while all of this is going on, Joseph is trying to convince everyone to just give up. After all, if they move on, his only friends are gone. He'll just be left alone in the darkness. The puppet knows the only way for Joseph to move on is for him to finally forgive Michael, but Joseph is not even close to forgiving him. And for a basic summary, that's essentially where we left off. So what do we learn from this final tape?
I'm trapped. The locks went off while I was wearing it.
William isn't dead. We already inferred this from the other tapes, but here we are directly thrown into William Afton's tortured years of waiting. When William got spring-locked, very much like what happened to his victims, he didn't move on. Instead, he haunted the suit that he died in. Unable to move for a long time, he was stuck in a back room, filling with more and more hatred for his son. It also seems like Mike Schmidt in FNaF 1 is actually Michael Afton, because William seems to allude to Michael being close for a period of time. Either way, William is finally salvaged from the abandoned back room by the creators of Fazbear's Fright, a horror attraction based on the rumors surrounding Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Thinking the Springlock suit is just an old costume, they bring it into the attraction. William thinks it's time for revenge, but the puppet sees an opportunity. She sends Michael to the attraction to burn it down, with William still inside. And he succeeds. William burns to the ground, and so does Michael, presumably. It seems like things have finally closed for good. We end with a rest in peace for all of the victims, including Michael and Joseph, suggesting Joseph finally forgave Michael. And finally, the souls are free. As for William, I'm willing to bet the fire at Fazbear's Fright are looking pretty familiar to where he is right now. Wow, so much happened in this story. If I'm being honest, this is the lore I wish FNaF had. A very emotionally impactful story with characters you can connect to. Trust me, I like all the new FNaF games, but I can't say that sometimes I don't wish the lore aspect ended with FNaF 3. I have to say though, the ending of this series means much more than just the ending of a well-told story. These tapes were the first thing that blew up my channel. They started a trend that I still cover to this day, and I've met some really great people because of the FNAF VHS community, including Squimpus herself. It may seem, from an outsider's perspective, to just be a good piece of fan media, but if you look at the way it's affected those in the community, it's clearly much more than that. So thank you, Squimpus, for such a great series. I look forward to seeing what you do next. Seriously, whether it's FNAF related or not. What did you think of this episode of the Creepy Files? Let me know in the comments and suggest what I should cover next on my Twitter or Instagram. Also follow me on Twitch because I'm hoping to have more stuff over there coming soon. See you all next time.